For so many men, the hardest part of the day starts when the sun goes down. It is the dread of another broken night, the familiar panic of that third wake-up call, stumbling to the bathroom in the dark, only to stand there and feel like you are not even finishing the job. That post-drip humiliation that waits for you in the morning. You have tried to accept this as your new normal, the price you have to pay. But I am here to tell you with absolute certainty that this is a problem you can solve. The secret to sleeping through the night and emptying your bladder completely is sitting on a grocery store shelf, a simple red scoop that costs pennies. The multi-billion-dollar industries built around your discomfort do not want you to know this. They offer you 2 doors, one labeled surgery, and the other lifelong medication. I am here to show you the third door, the one that leads straight to your own kitchen and back to your freedom. I am Dr. Catherine Rocker. For over 20 years, I have dedicated my practice exclusively to men's health. I have sat across from thousands of men just like you, and I have seen the same story of frustration and stolen sleep. But I have also witnessed the incredible power of the body to heal when we give it the right, simple support. This is not just about sleep. This is about the quiet calculation you make before a long car ride. It is the mental map of every bathroom in a restaurant. It is the slow erosion of your confidence, the feeling that your body is no longer your own. This constant negotiation is a theft of your peace of mind, and it ends today. You have been sold a story that the entire problem is the size of your prostate, that we must shrink it at all costs. But that is only a small part of the picture. The real issue is often tension and inflammation, a constant squeezing and swelling in the tissues around the prostate and bladder neck. Our goal is to relax and deflate those tissues so your flow can be strong and complete. That is exactly what I will give you. 1 core morning ingestible paired with 3 easy behavioral shift can shift your days and your nights. Better flow, fewer wake-ups, more confidence to leave the house without scouting bathrooms. If you are ready to finally feel like yourself again, I invite you to subscribe to our channel and tap the bell so you do not miss a single step. And right now, let me know in the comments below. Type yes if you want a plan that helps you sleep through the night. Type 0 if it missed the mark and say what you need. So let us begin where every day begins, with the first thing you put into your body. Let us talk about that secret scoop, what I call the red gold scoop. Cooked tomatoes can act like a quiet but powerful ally for your bladder. This is not just a kitchen tip or an old wives' tale. What I am sharing with you is a precise biological strategy, one that clinical studies support. Cooked tomatoes target the cellular inflammation that causes your prostate to swell and creates those urgent, frustrating signals that jerk you awake at night. The power inside them comes from a natural compound called lycopene. Think of lycopene as a dedicated double agent working inside your body. Its first mission is to act as a powerful anti-inflammatory, cooling down the internal heat and swelling in your prostate tissue. Its second mission is to gently slow down the cellular signals that encourage prostate growth. I want to tell you about my patient, Gustavo. He was 62, a brilliant architect who found his life completely dictated by his bladder. He was getting up 3, sometimes 4 times a night. He was exhausted and frustrated, and when I suggested he try a simple switch from his usual raw tomato salad at dinner to a spoonful of cooked tomato paste in the morning, he was deeply skeptical. He looked at me and said, "Doctor, I have taken expensive pills for years, and you are talking about tomato paste." But he agreed to try it. The difference, I explained, was in the form and the timing. After about 6 weeks of this simple, consistent habit, his nightly trips dropped down to just 1, and some nights he slept straight through until morning. When I saw him next, he told me something that stayed with me. He said, "It is not just the sleep. For the first time in years, I have the mental clarity to work on my model ships again. I got my focus back. So let me give you the exact same protocol I gave Gustavo. The biggest mistake men make is eating raw, watery tomatoes late in the day that can actually irritate a sensitive bladder. The correct method is to use concentrated cooked tomato paste. The cooking process is what unlocks the lycopene, making it powerful and ready for your body to use. Each morning with your breakfast, take 1 to 2 tablespoons of this tomato paste. You can mix it into your eggs, stir it into a smoothie, or just take it off the spoon. Taking it in the morning, especially with a little healthy fat like olive oil or avocado, allows your body to absorb the lycopene best and gives it a full day to work on calming inflammation. It also means the minimal liquid in the paste is processed long before you go to bed, protecting your precious sleep. Now, let's talk about a feeling you might know all too well. That sensation of never being truly finished at the bathroom, followed by the frustration and embarrassment of a post-trip. I want you to understand that this is not always a prostate issue alone. Very often, this is a sign of a weakened pelvic floor. This is a group of muscles that acts like a supportive hammock, and when it gets weak, it struggles to perform its final job of sealing everything shut. The good news is you can strengthen this muscle group with a simple exercise. The action is the same one you would use to stop the flow of urine midstream. I want you to sit or stand comfortably and squeeze that muscle. Hold the squeeze firmly for a count of 5 seconds, then fully release and relax for another 5 seconds. That single squeeze and release counts as 1 repetition. Your goal is to complete 10 to 15 of these repetitions, and you should aim for 3 sessions throughout your day. Remember, the real power here comes from daily consistency, not from how hard you strain. This practice is about more than just squeezing. You are actively retraining the nerves and muscles that form that vital supportive sling between your legs. A stronger and more responsive pelvic floor creates a more effective inner lock. This leads to a more complete emptying when you go and puts a definitive stop to the dribble that causes so much embarrassment. I remember a patient, Manuel, a retired engineer, who came to me feeling defeated. He called himself a leaky faucet. He had even started wearing dark pants all the time to hide any accidental moisture. He was so desperate, he would do quick, frantic squeezes right after he showered. When I gave him this structured plan, he was doubtful but committed. After just 2 weeks of consistent effort, he called my office, amazed. The constant dampness had completely disappeared. He told me, "Doctor, I can now shake a man's hand without a single thought about my bladder. I feel confident again." The easiest way to make this a lasting habit is to connect it to something you already do every day. I want you to perform 1 set of these exercises immediately after you urinate. Think of this as a small privacy tax. You are investing just a few seconds of your time after each bathroom visit to purchase hours of dry, confident freedom for the rest of your day. This simple anchor turns the exercise from a chore into a natural part of your routine, building the strength that restores your control. The next step addresses a hidden source of pressure that many men never consider. You see, a bowel that is not fully emptied each day can create a constant internal pressure on your bladder and prostate. Think of it as a hidden fist pressing against your bladder all day and all night. This physical pressure reduces your bladder's capacity and constantly triggers those false alarms that wake you up. No pill can fix that kind of pressure. Releasing it is what gives your bladder the space to work the way it should. To solve this, I want you to adopt a simple 4-step routine each morning. I call it the morning reset. It starts with hydration and movement as soon as you wake up. A glass of warm water wakes up the gut. A short walk or gentle stretch gets your abdominal muscles working which helps push things along. Then comes the fiber load at breakfast. Real fiber from fruits, vegetables, legumes, or whole grains adds bulk that moves through smoothly. A fiber supplement can also help if food alone isn't enough. The final piece is a dedicated bathroom window within the first 45 minutes after waking. This taps into your gastrocolic reflex, a natural wave that makes the bowel more active after you eat or drink in the morning. This is not just about digestion. Research clearly shows that men with infrequent bowel movements are more than twice as likely to struggle with incomplete bladder emptying and frequent nighttime urination. When you ensure a clear passage each morning, you are physically decompressing your bladder. You are also reducing the internal inflammation that contributes to prostate swelling throughout the day and night. This single habit supports your body's healing process on multiple levels. A common mistake is dismissing occasional constipation as unimportant or trying to solve it by drinking a lot of water right before bed. That late hydration often backfires, filling your bladder just as you are trying to sleep. The power of the morning reset is in its timing. We front load the hydration and fiber, so your body can process everything during the day, solving the problem long before you get into bed. Let me tell you the story of another patient, Ash, 68, who lived with constant nighttime urination for years. He assumed it was just part of aging. He often went 3 or 4 days without a full bowel movement and didn't connect it to his bladder. I guided him through the morning reset. For weeks later, he told me his nights had changed. His trips to the bathroom dropped from 4 or 5 to 1 or 2. He emptied his bladder more fully during the day and slept through most nights without interruption. His energy returned, and his mood lifted. Clearing the bowel early in the day lifts the pressure off your bladder for the rest of the day and into the night. That quiet, steady change often does more for bladder control than another round of pills. A clear bowel means a calmer bladder and longer, deeper sleep. The final step addresses a habit that many men develop without even realizing it. Years of rushing to the bathroom, just in case, can train your bladder to panic too soon. You may not even realize it's happening. At first, these quick trips feel like a smart way to stay dry. Over time, though, your bladder learns to sound the alarm earlier and earlier. The more you give in to that signal, the more sensitive it becomes. The world around you starts to shrink as you plan your day around the next bathroom. We need to change this dynamic. We must retrain your bladder for strength and patience, teaching it to hold a comfortable volume again. This process is called bladder retraining, and it gives you back the schedule for your day. It works because your bladder is a muscle that responds to the way you treat it. When you rush to empty it at the first sign of pressure, it never learns to stretch. That's why the urge keeps coming back so fast. When you gently hold and retrain it, the bladder's elastic muscle fibers adapt. This increases its capacity, and the urgency starts to quiet down. The brain relearns what a real full bladder feels like instead of responding to every small twinge. As that false alarm weakens, you gain control instead of reacting out of fear. The process starts with a natural baseline. If your current interval between bathroom trips is around an hour, extend it to an hour and a half. When the urge shows up early, do not run. Instead, you pause. Sit down if you can. Take several slow, deep breaths down into your belly. Relax your pelvic floor instead of tightening it. Focus your mind on something else, like a simple mental puzzle or the details of your breathing. You will find that the intense urge usually passes within a minute. Once your scheduled time arrives, walk to the bathroom calmly and empty your bladder completely. As your comfort grows, add 15 to 30 minutes to the schedule. Over time, most men can work up to holding for 3 to 4 hours during the day. That's a healthy and stable interval that lets your bladder function the way it should. I've seen the change this brings to real lives. Here I share with you the last of our stories, that of a retired professor named David who used to map every building by its bathrooms before stepping on stage to lecture. His bladder demanded hourly trips. When we worked on bladder training, he stuck with it patiently. For weeks later, his interval had stretched to 3 hours. He stopped planning his days around toilets. He told me he started planning them around people, memories, and moments again. His voice carried a confidence that had been missing for years. The true victory here is not just a physical change. It is the end of that background anxiety that tints your entire day. It is about reclaiming the mental space and the steady confidence you need to fully engage in your work and your life. This practice restores your sense of command, allowing you to move through the world on your own terms, free from the constant worry of where the next bathroom might be. Now, I want to set you up for success with the right frame of mind. Your body took time to develop these patterns, and it needs a consistent window to recalibrate. Please give this entire protocol a solid 3 to 6 weeks of daily practice. View this not as a tedious task, but as the most important appointment you make each day, an appointment with your own well-being and independence. Every single action you take builds upon the last. That morning scoop of tomato paste, each set of pelvic floor exercises, every successful morning reset. These are not just items on a checklist. They are deliberate votes you cast for the man you are reclaiming. Your steady consistency acts as the quiet engine that transforms these simple daily actions into the profound result of a full night of uninterrupted sleep and a life free from constant worry. You are the one actively building this new reality, one dedicated day at a time. You now have a complete plan. Let's bring it all together. Your new foundation rests on 4 pillars. First, the morning red gold scoop of cooked tomato paste with a touch of healthy fat to calm inflammation at the prostate and help your bladder empty more completely. The second is the inner lock, a few sets of pelvic floor squeezes, done quietly throughout the day, strengthen your control, and end the constant drips that follow you around. The third is the morning reset. Hydration, movement, and fiber in the morning clear the pressure that builds from your bowels and gives your bladder room to work. The fourth is scheduled freedom. Spacing your bathroom visits retains the bladder to hold longer and relax, breaking the endless cycle of urgency. Together, these steps give your bladder the chance to reset without a single pill or scalpel. I always believe in starting with the simplest, most natural approach first. There is certainly a place for medications and surgery. I work with them when they're needed. But these 4 steps are where many of my patients start. They're safe, they give you control, and they often make the biggest difference. Even if medication or procedures are part of your journey later, these habits can make those treatments work better and reduce how much you need them. This journey truly boils down to a simple exchange. You are trading a little bit of daily discipline for a life with less worry. You are gaining the confidence to plan a long drive, to sit through your grandson's entire game, or to enjoy an evening without calculating your proximity to a bathroom. You are investing in the profound rest that comes from sleeping deeply and waking up refreshed. If you were to choose just one to begin with, which would it be? The red gold scoop, the inner lock, the morning reset, or the scheduled freedom? Comment your pick below and tell me the first step you'll take today. Your answer might give someone else the courage to start too. If this path to freedom resonates with you, please pay that feeling forward. Liking this video helps others find it. Subscribing to Harmonic Health Seniors means we can continue this journey together. And sharing this with one other man in your life could give him the same hope you feel today. We can end the silence around this issue one conversation at a time. Our mission here is to empower you to become the active architect of your own vitality. You hold the power to heal. Your consistent commitment is the key that unlocks it. Let's get to work.